I want to begin my part 4. Now, I had to leave Sarere, my town, to go to Mbale for further studies. Now, Mbale is a very beautiful city, very clean city, is the third largest city in Uganda and is located on the foothills of Mount Elgon and also Mount Kokonjeru range. And to begin with, I stayed with my cousins in Mbale. Although it was a big family, but they warmly accommodated me to stay with them, which was very nice of them. And I really appreciate their help in that case. And my first school was North Road Primary School. The head of the school was R.D. Kailash, and the deputy head was H.K. Modgil. And in our school, I had so many friends like Simon DeMello, Bhupendra Lakhani, Praveen Patel, Kanu Patel, Anil Patel, Rashmi Raichura, Praveen Luka, Subhas Teso, Kishore Modha, Ghanshyam Gondhyo, Dhansukh Parmar, Babu Askari, Mohan Wadher, and among girls there was Surekha, Nalini, Gulzar Ahmad, I call it Guli, and Nasim Remtullah. And we had so many activities in schools as well, like debating, music, sports, netball, volleyball, and sports. Now, about debating society, it was very exciting. And one of my friends, Praveen Luka, he was very good in debating. He could put his point very strongly, and anybody could believe his points, So he was really good, and I really appreciate that he is still a very good spokesman. Now, regarding music, we had a music block which was away from the main building, so nobody can get disturbed because of the music. So it was quite away from the main building of the music class. And I said earlier that my music teacher was Mr. Purohit. And we had compulsory music lessons for everyone in the class. And we had to go to the music block for our lessons. Now in this case, Mr. Purohit, he was still in the class. And we went into music block, and one of my friends, Navin, we call him Navin Fatelo because his voice was broken voice, so we call him Navin Fatelo. And he was very mischievous in school. All the teachers knew him that he was very mischievous. So what happened? We went in the class and he started singing loudly and creating havoc in the class. And Mr. Purohit, he was already watching him. He was right on the doorstep and he was watching what Navin was doing. And he called Navin, Navin, come here. He went, yes, sir. He said, is this your house? The Navin looked everywhere. He said, yeah, it is my house. And now you can imagine what happened. Mr. Purohit took him to headmaster. He says, look, he's another fellow. I'm not very happy with his behavior. And Mr. Kailash said, yeah, he's a habitual fellow. So I think I'll have to suspend him. So he just told him to go away from the school and ask him that I want to see your father before I can admit you in school. So Navin says, my father is gone to India, so you can't see him. He said, all right then, bring your brother. So he went home and brought his younger brother, younger than him, about 2-3 years old. And Mr. Kailash, he was very, very angry. And he says, okay, when your dad comes back from India, ask him to come. But meanwhile, you just carry on in your school. Now, during our school recess, we were just waiting. As soon as there was a recess bell, we all rushed to Babulal Hindocha's house because he used to make a lovely mogo, boiled mogo, and with a thick sauce. And he used to sell mogo with a sprinkle of salt and chili powder, and we used to enjoy like anything. And Babulal Hindocha's son Mansukh, we call him Mansukh Bhattadio. But Mansukh, he was very successful businessman. He had a restaurant in East London called Ronak Restaurant. I think his brother is still running the restaurant. Now, during Sundays, we also had a grass track racing, and I wasn't riding anything, but my another friend, Babu Sudra, he had a piki piki. Piki piki means a motorcycle. Oh yeah, I remember the name of the guy. He's a Bilo. They used to do motorcycle racing, and I was their flagman. I used to do flag to start the motor race and also end the motorcycle. So I was their flagman. So what happened? The scooter always went further than motorcycle, because he had modified. So the Babu said, "I want to modify my picky picky." So what he did, he just put some extra. He modified, put extra jet, so it gives more power. And to check the power, he said, "Varu, come sit down." I said, "How can I sit?" He said, "Okay, I'll just fix this carrier for you." So he fixed very quickly the carrier rack, for me to sit down. Then I sat down, and what he did, he just revved his picky picky so fast, and he went round the clock tower, and there were some thorny bushes round the clock tower, and he went so fast that one of the screws came off the rack, where I was sitting, and I fell down in the thorny bush. And Babu went further without realizing that I was still in the motorcycle. He saw at the back, "Ek Varu," and he couldn't see me. And he came back, and he saw me. I was trying to remove thorns in my bodies, And that was another very funny story which happened to me. And it was really end of the term now, because we had sports day, and then it was end of the term, and we had a long holiday. So I went to Sarere, and my mom, myself, my younger brother, and my sisters, we all decided to go to Thika again, because Thika was our headquarters, because my mamas lived there, and I really grew up mostly in Thika, enjoying my life in Thika. So we went to Thika, stayed with my mamas. My both mamas were living together. We stayed there, and really we had a great time there, singing. My mama was bhajanic singer. He used to teach me harmonium, and all my cousins, brothers and sisters, we used to play together. So while my sister and my mom and mamas were there, they decided now Kanta was getting older. She was ready for a marriage. So they were looking for a suitable person. So they found out there's called Mauji Jina Ladwa from Nairobi. They all went to see him, and they had discussion, and then finally the marriage was arranged. It was arranged marriage, and the marriage took place in Thika, and it was arranged very nicely by my mama and my family everywhere, and it was lovely marriage ceremony. And eventually my sister settled in Nairobi. And then after the marriage, we came back to Uganda. Now we were only three of us: my father, my mother, and my younger brother Jamnadas. And obviously we had our servant called Matoto. Matoto in Swahili means a small boy, but in fact he was over about 60 years old, and he used to understand Gujarati very well, and he used to make some lovely food with us. And as I told you earlier, there's so much thieving going on, like burglaries at night. So Matoto suggested that we should have a little dog. So my father said, "All right, you get a dog." Then he brought a small little baby dog, and to my surprise, he named the dog Govind. And as my dog grew bigger and bigger, and the dog adopted this name Govind, and and I had my friend living opposite my house. His name was Govind. So there was big confusion when my Matoto, when he used to call Govind, the other Govind, my real friend, he used to come. He said, "I'm not calling you, I'm calling my dog." So Govind was really upset. He came to me, he says, "Why did you name your dog Govind? You should have named something else." So we thought, yeah, it was right. Govind was right. So we tried to change his name, dog's name, but my dog couldn't respond any other name. When you say Govind, he was alert. So he adopted this name Govind. So, and we couldn't help at all. So Govind was really upset. And the dog was also very happy that he had his name Govind at last. So one day what happened, we had burglars in our shop. And Matoto had a very bad habit. He used to smoke joints, cannabis. And after smoking the cannabis, he used to blow his air to Govind. And Govind was also addicted to that smoke. And on that night, both of them were completely flat out. They slept all night. They couldn't listen the sound of burglars. My father, we were all awake. And he was shouting to my Matoto, "Matoto, wake up, where are you, where are you?" But Matoto fast slept, and my dog was fast slept because of that cannabis thing. So next day, my father sacked them. He said, "You go away, I don't want you." Then the Matoto started crying like anything. And then my father was good-hearted. He said, "Okay, don't do that again." So he was back in the house again.